Oh yeah, tariffs. So who pays the tariffs? The consumer. So how's that benefit our economy? How's that benefit me? Because it raised the prices that we buy shit here. He's not dumb. He's not stupid. He knows how tariffs work. How is it going to affect the stock market? It's going to shut down the stock market. It's going to fucking crash. He knows it very well. Nobody knows better than him how it's going to fuck the stock market. But he did it, and private shareholders, they're gonna panic. They're gonna panic and they're gonna sell. And who's gonna buy those? The billionaires, the fucking corporations. They know what's gonna happen after, it's like, oh, now it's hit the lowest, buy all of it. They wanna fucking own everything. But the narrative is like, oh, Trump is just stupid. He doesn't know how the tariffs work and this and that. It's like, oh, really? Really? Today I'm really like a little salty about everything, and I want to get into the bottom of some stuff.
Let's do it.
I might be wrong about so many stuff, so
Marnie,
don't hold me accountable to it.
There apparently is no more right or wrong or truth or untruth. That's all gone out the window now. So,
I think, I think I'm a little suspicious. I'm suspicious about things that I'm hearing. You know what I mean?
Good.
I used
we need to be.
Yeah, I used to believe everything. Like, oh yeah, we went to the moon. Oh yeah, of course. Like, it was, it was this, like whatever they said in the like a mainstream media, or like whatever was acceptable in the science community or whatever. I would be like, yeah, of course, it is like that. Of course, we live on a globe. Of course, it's sphere. Of course, but now, not that I think the Earth is flat, but I'm thinking like, what the fuck is the shape of planet that we live in?
Yes.
What if that all this bullshit is happening like a Truman Show? I'm sure you watched the.
Yes, I know what you mean.
It's like, yeah, you've been set and you've been shown some CGI that is like, yeah, and what if all of this is like a human experiment that.
But I see that as a very constructive attitude to have through life. Not that I think one should be suspicious all the time, but one should absolutely question consistently what is real, what is not real. And in us too, I mean, if you see it outwards, you can bet your bottom dollar it's happening in here as well. What we think is an absolute reality, suddenly, it wasn't. Oh, I'm not dumb at maths. I can do maths. Oh, but I've spent all my years thinking I was bad at it. For example, I'm making that up, and then some little experience might show us, no, we're actually quite good at maths, for example. Hey, and so that's how I treat myself through life. I'm always questioning, is this really true, Lyle? Do you really have such bad self-respect that blah, 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 or whatever? And then suddenly I think, well, no. Oh, that was an illusion. It wasn't like that at all.
I don't think it's illusion. It's a set of beliefs that you've been programmed to.
Yes. Well, maybe program myself.
Follow, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think you program yourself. Your environment and your surrounding kind of dictated to you.
I think I've got a bit of a knack at doing it myself.
It's a little bit of both.
It's absolutely both. Yes, of course. And why I'm mentioning this is because I totally agree with what you're saying, but I think we should look at internalizing what we're starting to talk about too, because it has been my experience through my now quite many years of life on this planet that I've had to readjust my reality quite regularly because of what I just said. I might get put in a situation where, for example, a long time back now, but I was terrified of standing up and speaking in front of people because I thought I would make a fool of myself. I wouldn't be able to. I'd say the wrong things. People would laugh or people wouldn't laugh, whichever. But by being forced into that situation, I had to abandon that old idea I had about myself, that I was crap at public speaking. I'm quite good at it, in fact. I'm not excellent, but I'm not that bad either.
Well, I have this similar experience to what you're saying, and I panicked. I got a panic attack.
Oh, okay.
And I was, when I was 18, 19, it was like a setting that I need to, like I have a presentation for something in front of, let's say 40, 50 people. And they were surrounding, like a standing. And that's the hardest memory that I have from that time, that whenever I think about it, I have to shout it out. It's like, whenever I think about it, I'm like, ah! Do you have one of those
Yes.
memories that you have to
yes, I'll tell you
shout
in
it
a moment.
away? So, well, let's see, it was almost 20 years ago that it happened. So since I'm trying to like analyze why it happened, it was only my fear,
Yeah.
or it was my physical condition that I was hungry. I didn't eat anything before that
Okay.
setting, before that public speech or like presentation. I was nervous, like all the factors, like what was the main reason. I didn't come up with anything concrete, but I think like a little bit of everything. And that hold me back. I would never put myself in a situation that I have to give a speech to, like, because I know for it to go away, you have to do it. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe after, like, I don't know what would help me to give it give it another go. But
Yeah, maybe. Well, look what you're doing right now. I mean, it's just you and I sitting here, but there's many, many thousands watching us. Gee, money. Yeah.
no, that's okay, because like I'm not saying that I'm good at it, but I've been always good at one-on-one conversation, or
Okay.
one in like 3, 1 in 5.
Sure. Yeah.
When it comes to like, I don't know what it is. And it happened once that I was supposed to give a speech, and I was like, fuck all that. I will never do that again. And so far I didn't. So
Oh, fair enough.
so far I, avoid being in that position again.
Wait,
And I don't think I need to be in that position, but at some point I will give it another go.
good. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, excellent. When I think I was 14 years old, my parents took us to a talent show. Not really knowing what that was, but anyway, we went. And then the guy asked if he could have help from a few people in the audience. I thought, oh yeah, poor guy needs some help. I'll go and help him. But help my eye. We had to do things. We had to perform or to sing. We were the talent. Little shy me, I hardly even spoke to anyone else if I didn't have to. When I realized I was standing on the stage in front of my family and hundreds of other people, of course, I was ready to poo myself. It was scary as hell. I had no idea what I was going to do. I couldn't run off the stage. That would have been even worse. So when it was my turn, I just sang Bar Bar Black Sheep really badly. I won the whole damn thing.
yeah, that's interesting.
It was so terrible. They gave me the prize. But that didn't help. That didn't help my trust, because I had fooled myself. I didn't know what I was getting into. I thought I was going to hold something or, do something to help the guy on stage, but not sing or dance or whatever. So that was my little scream it out loud memory.
So you weren't prepared for doing it.
Absolutely, totally not.
I think that would have worked for me if I didn't know. Like if it was in the moment, heat of the moment.
Well, it did work for me.
I think I worked myself up before
Yeah.
it so hard that when it happened, it was like, and That was the only. I think that was the only time I feel like a panic attack.
Yeah,
I
okay.
lost the ability to talk.
Yeah.
I hyperventilate. No, seriously.
Yeah. I believe you. I understand.
And I
completely.
relate some of it to like, having a lack of nutrition in my body or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
But
Yeah.
I was fucking 18, 19, so you don't need anything to
No.
do anything. You have the energy. Yeah, back in the days I was very skinny too.
But it kind of didn't work for me because, I mean, I won because it was so terrible. People thought it was really funny. I didn't know I was heading into to win. Anyway, that's sidetracked now, but that was a childhood memory that haunted me for ages.
Yeah, I know.
Afterwards. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that thing that I believe is some of it is programmed to your mind by the stuff that you've been taught in the school, in the society, by your family, and all maybe with good intention. None of it was like out of to hurt you,
Oh, no, of course.
but
yeah.
it like structured your mindset on who you are, how you
Yes.
are, and things like that, and what the world is,
Yes.
and how you should think about this type of people, how you should think about whatever, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's changing. Like we're figuring out like so much of our understanding was kind of bullshit. And
Yeah.
like so much of our written history is not accurate at all.
Never probably was. But to me, why I think what we're talking about now is important is because now Red Monkey has pulled the carpet out of any sense of truth or non-truth.
You call him Orange Monkey last time. Now it's red.
Oh
So
well.
it got a little more extreme, I guess.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's probably done us a favor in a way that we know there's nothing, absolutely nothing that we can believe coming from that area of the world anyway. It's all going to be propaganda and ego-blowing hoo-ha. So, okay, what do we do? How do we find some semblance of reality in our own worlds? I think it's going to teach us a lot, mister. Good will come from this. God knows how.
Okay, I'm going to give you a monologue. How long do we need, like between the events that happening and it's been written on our history? Like,
Yes.
yeah, we landed on the moon. How long do we need to come out and say like, actually we didn't? Because it's stuff that happened like, I don't know, 400 years ago, 300 years ago, 500 years ago. Then slowly but surely we figure out like, no, it didn't happen like
Come on,
they
dude. No one's going to admit
described
that.
it.
Well, even,
Moon landing?
I mean, we don't know the truth either way. Well, yes or no. But,
I think we know the truth.
well, yeah.
By we, I mean like people who are in charge of taking
course.
that decision and leaving that.
Yes, of course.
out.
That I know. But what I mean is there are very, very large egos involved in that country. And no one, and a person with a large ego is never going to admit defeat or that they're wrong. Never. It doesn't happen.
But that's what I mean. Like after they die, how long after that?
Well,
Let's
no,
say
but-
all the people like involved in the NASA team Apollo mission. How long after everyone, like all the government agencies and all the people that were involved die? How long after that
well, I would
will it
sidetrack-
take for
Yes, I hear
these
you.
people to come out and announce that? Yeah,
Probably never. But,
I don't think so. I think it's going to happen.
well, I hope you're right. But I was going to say maybe we just need to get up on the moon ourselves and say, oh, there's no wreckage here. What? No, it's funny. No one's been here. Oh, yes, look, there it is. Yeah, there's Apollo 11.
But let's make it clear. I'm not saying we didn't land on the moon.
No, I know you're
I'm
not.
just saying, like, if we haven't,
Yes.
if we didn't, how long does it take for our history or our narrative to change.
All right, let's look at another example of that. How long is it going to take before Europeans, especially Americans, accept that Christopher Columbus did not discover America? I mean, everyone knows that's hubble bubble, boobly woobly, and that there were people thousands and thousands of years there before. But what do we just look up on Google now? And what do we find?
Yes,
1492.
yeah, but yeah,
Christopher Columbus.
okay, yeah, exactly. But how long ago is that? 500 years?
Yes, plus, yeah.
Give and take. Okay, it took 500 years for that narrative to at least have some, how do you say?
Recognition, maybe.
No, have some like a opponent.
Okay, yes, sure.
That is
Yeah,
like, no, Christopher Columbus didn't
sure. Yeah,
discover the USA. There were people there, Native Americans and this and that.
and Aztecs and blah,
It was
blah.
more than a like colonization and attack than discovery. That's the like a acceptable narrative now.
Yes,
But it took us 500 years.
yes.
So what I'm saying, how long does it take for
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
our
yeah.
current situation to be revealed that it was all bullshit? Is it you have to, because it gets to the binary effect. Now information goes around like instantly. So it's not like, oh yeah, it's been written in the Bible, and it goes around for thousands and thousands of
Yeah,
years
sure.
until like in 20s something we realize, no, this is not trustworthy source to
Yeah.
set our values and morals on. Because it says so many fucked up things, like if you go to back the old version and new version, Old Testament and New Testament,
Yes.
it doesn't make sense. We're better than that right
Sure,
now.
yes.
So how long does it take for our current situation, current narrative to change? And I would say, with the help of AI, with the help of quantum computing, it's gonna be like within next 100 years.
Okay.
That we're gonna drop the act,
Yeah.
drop the bullshit.
That's
No,
good.
we didn't go
Yeah.
to the moon because of the Van Allen belt. It's
Yes.
not we didn't have the technology back then.
They didn't want fried
But we were in
astronauts.
this, Cold War with Russia, so we faked it.
Yes.
We have the, we record everything in this studio, and yeah,
Well, another parallel with that maybe is the UFO thing, which we've always been there in recorded history. But then I suppose the main thing has been since 1947 at Roswell, and constant denials up until now, hasn't it? Now that officials are coming out and saying, well, actually, blah, 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 blah. There are, yeah.
So how long did that take?
75 years,
75 years.
about.
And now they not coming out and saying, yeah, there are UFOs, but they come and say like, yeah, there are flying objects in our sky that we don't know what they are, and flying or
Yeah.
I don't know what you call them under the ocean.
Yes.
UFO,
And a few
USOs.
flying pigs too. Yeah, but never mind. Sorry. Just threw that in.
Just unidentified flying objects, unidentified submersible objects.
Yes.
So either way,
Yeah.
took them 75 years.
Sure.
And what I'm thinking now is gonna escalate, because with the help of, because the internet before, it was Web 1, Web 2, and they estimate that it's gonna be a Web 3. The Web 1 was a version of internet that you could just read and watch.
I remember. Yes.
Yeah, you couldn't actively interact or add anything to it.
Yes.
But then came along Web 2, that you could read, write, interact, create, add, whatever.
Yes.
They estimate it's gonna come a Web 3
Okay.
that This all big company, big tech companies, these giants that own all the like media, all the content creators, it's like because you have to publish it in their platform. So
Okay.
they kind of own your whatever you create,
Huh.
own
Well,
your product or content that you create. In Web3, we're gonna own our properties, our digital properties. So it's not like YouTube own this clip of this podcast that can decide like, oh no, we're gonna delete that, we're gonna take that one down,
yeah.
or we're not gonna promote this or that. The algorithm, we're not gonna put it in the algorithm or anything like that. You own your product, content, properties, and you get the revenue directly from your platform.
Oh.
And it has it's a really complicated explanation. It has like some type of cryptocurrency involved in it, and like like a I'm not gonna get into that, but what I'm trying to say is that this is gonna change the whole way of creating and consuming content.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting.
Web3.
Yeah. Okay.
So
when's that coming?
well, with the current state that everything is going around, it's not gonna come like anytime soon.
Okay.
It needs like so many like fundamental changes in our way of like interacting.
And AI is going to affect that process, no
Yeah, I
doubt.
believe so. AI will affect it like very in a major way.
Okay.
So, but what was I about to say before that? Yeah, either way, this was important that this gonna change like this. So
Okay.
then we're gonna consume the information differently, because almost the censorship goes away, and they cannot hold you back, or they cannot silence your voice because you say something that is like against the mainstream narrative, or even if you say something that is wrong. Because saying things wrong shouldn't be the reason that they silence you.
Sure.
They can just come up with a better narrative. They can say something that is right and like argue with what you're saying. But to silence you, to remove you, no, oh no, you're a conspiracy theorist. No, misinformation, disinformation. It's like whatever comes out of any government is lie. I
Yes.
just hear lies, lie after lie. It's like I'm not only talking about right wings. The left wings lie too. It's like
Oh,
they
for sure.
just lie. They just lie about this stuff, or they don't tell you the truth about it, which is still, hiding the truth is the same as lying about something. So
Of course. But
misinformation and disinformation exist in the mainstream media narratives.
and that's not new.
And yeah,
It's
propaganda and shit like that has been around as long as we had the
probably forever.
yeah.
But like seeing the, I always sort of see the Viking graffiti around, in the runestones. Vikings rule, okay. And that's a form of propaganda too.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was thousands of years ago.
And history has been written by the Victorians. Victorians, can you?
Yes, current history. Okay, but it's still
Current history? No, I'm not talking about current history. I'm talking about history. Like the history of Greek or Egypt. Who wrote down those books, those events? Who report those events? The people who won those wars. That's
Yeah.
why, like, you hear like barely you hear the same the like a opposite narrative in a timeline.
Sure, that's
And
true.
then you're like, oh yeah, because the 20 sources said the same thing, so that must be true. No. What about all the sources that has been set in fire?
Yes,
Like
I know.
in all the great libraries that in the wars got fucked up.
Yes, yeah.
So what I'm
course.
trying to say is that if you understand that what you're reading right now about the history and even current history, if you understand that's not like, yeah, maybe the possibility of it being true is like 60%, but you cannot take it as 100% fact. Like, yeah, that shit happened. We landed on the moon.
Yes.
I mean, myself, I give, if I want to give a percentage, I give 20% that we landed on the moon.
Okay.
Before I was like 100%. But now I'm like, yeah, maybe they reverse engineered something like in 50s and then they landed on the moon on 70s. Definitely what they say they did, they didn't, you know. They say like, oh, we just come up with this aluminium and foil, this little thing, and we went through that much radiation and we landed on the moon. That's just bullshit. But
Sure.
maybe they did something and they used some technology that they couldn't explain, they couldn't publish. So
Yeah.
they come up with this type of lies about it. That's the only possibility that I give, that, yeah,
Okay,
they
yeah.
landed on the moon. But that possibility is very slim, like 20%.
But that brings us still back to the situation that we're all in right now. What do we trust? I'm not expecting you to come up with some profound answer, Money. I'm really just throwing that out in there. That, okay, we've come from a system where we've always had a propaganda and untruths around us, as you're saying. But now what's happened in America has taken it to a whole new level where there's no even pretense about speaking truth. It's just all gobbledygook, the whole bloody lot, which then inspires others to follow suit. So my challenge to our viewers really is, what's real? You know, what's real for you? How do you know?
I guess you have to stay open-minded and to be determined. That's the best, because
Yeah.
you know, even in the history, even in like a biblical time, as soon as you accept something for the fact and truth, as you said, and believe on it and like have faith on it, then
Yeah.
you're gonna start like doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've seen it happen already since Yellow Monkey came in. It's
That's
you know?
yeah. That's just like, you know, that's a stupidity at its finest. But what I'm trying
yes,
to say
yeah.
is that yeah, no, I'm talking about like really fucking smart people, like scientists,
Yeah.
like physicists. They like put all their eggs on the basket of string theory for 50 years.
Oh yes.
It's the same shit. It's the same concept. Like you believe in something, like you think that no, we figure out the fact, and you don't go out of that frame of work that you create for yourself to try other theories. Maybe no, this one, and then you know you hold the whole scientific community back.
Yes.
And it happened with religion in our
Yes.
history. It happened with like so many things. And that's the approach that we take usually. Like we believe in something and like we put all the, instead of like, no, relax. We don't know what is happening. We don't know what the fuck is going on. We don't know, like nothing makes sense. You cannot just describe like, yeah, Earth is like this and that. We are living like this and that. And like, oh, no. There is no further discussion about it. These are facts. It's like, yeah, but until when? Until we discover something else, right? We
Yes.
discover some other truth.
Yes.
And we discover like, no, we live in a holographic universe. Then you're like, then you be like this most stupid person in the room because you put all your eggs, you put all your trust on this. And then we figure out like, no, it was just the illusion of physical world.
But I want to counter you on that by saying that I unfortunately don't think being intelligent helps much in such situations. And I want to go back to the beginning of the Ukraine war when Putin attacked. And I know a number of people who I know have a really good intellect, very intelligent people, who truly believed that Putin attacked Ukraine to save them from pedophiles and Nazis. He's a good man. He's going in to help the Ukrainians. And that they weren't kidding when they told me that they really know this is true. I mean, hello.
It's the same concept.
Yes.
It's just another example. It's the same concept. Like,
It is.
you brainwash someone, like you give, like, with the conviction, when I tell you, like, no, this happened is for this is the cause and this is the effect, then, and that's the only thing like you hear, and I'm like a trustworthy source,
Yeah.
then you live your life based on that. And what I'm proposing is to don't take anything as a fact.
Absolutely. Yeah, well
and
said.
keep
Yeah.
open-minded. You don't have to, like, you don't have to go around like, oh, is there a wall here, or I'm imagining it. No, you don't have to be like that. But give possibility that, yeah, you might live in a simulation.
Yes, of course. Yeah,
It's
well
not
said.
proved yet, but it might in the future, near future. So be open-minded,
Yes,
question things,
absolutely.
and live your life based on, understanding of caring and loving and being peaceful.
Lovely. Thank you.
But
Yes.
question these fucking narratives that we're living in. Because,
Good.
okay,
Yes, I
there's
wanna say
another
the
one.
same.
There is
Yeah.
another one that
Yeah.
recently we figured out that, we were so wrong about this group of people. Like autistic kids, autistic people.
Yeah.
With I think I sent it to you, telepathy tapes. It's a new
Yes, you
podcast that
did.
came out.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, it's on top of the charts of downloading, because they figured out that these autistic kids have ability to read your mind,
Yeah.
telepathy, and have experiences of like psychokinesis. They can get out of their body. They have a place that they call heal, that they meet each other there.
Oh, cool.
So
I
it's
didn't
like
know
an
that.
out of body experience.
Yeah.
They meet each other there. So they figure out the ability of like, that's the reason they have these abilities, because they cannot like express themselves in words and talk.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
they consume things differently. They like, their perception is different. Like if we see like a light, because the light is not always on, it's flickering.
That's right. Yeah.
They see that flickers. They like,
Oh, man.
they have a different space. They live in a different space and time.
Gee.
Or the noise is around. They can hear like a single, like a smallest detail in the sounds and noises
Wow.
and frequencies. That's why they have a fucking hard time to, communicate and like function, because they receiving so much data. And that's the reason maybe they develop these skills to like like get out of the bodies and mind and like travel,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like find a different way to communicate and understand. And it's fascinating, all the things, all this study that the lady has done.
Wow.
uh
Yeah.
just
Thanks. That's
let me
really
just pull
interesting.
her up, the telepathy tapes. So these are all autistic kids that they can read their mom's mind, and some of them can read people's mind
Yeah.
too.
Wow.
And we thought they're just, mentally challenged.
Yeah.
Like they're like, they can.
And we discovered that it was us that
They're-
are mentally
yeah,
challenged, not
yeah.
them. Yeah.
And
That's fantastic.
so we are wrong about that.
Yes.
And what I'm saying is that the wise thing to do is not to like say like, oh no, shut up. What are you saying? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What does it matter if the earth is flat or round? Who cares? It's like, Yeah, I don't care about the shape of the planet. I care about why do they lie if it's a lie? Or why do they lie about landing on the moon? Why do they lie about anything that they lie about?
Control.
Is it only control?
What else?
I think it's just misguiding people.
Yeah, well, that's a
It's
form
not
of
only
control.
control. It's like if I how do you say interrupt your development on the right path. Is it only for control? I know control is part of it. I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's all of it.
I don't know what else, but that would be a big factor in it for sure.
Like what happened with the Catholic Church, Roman Empire? How do you say Roman Catholic Church? Was it Roman
Yes.
Catholic?
Roman Catholic was
Yeah.
the original. Yeah.
Yeah. That killed all the people with
all the-
psychic abilities, and they call them they call it
Witches.
witch hunts.
Inquisition.
Yeah,
That's what you're talking about.
inquisitions, and
Yeah.
like they try to eliminate that
That's control.
like
'Cause they were-
mutant people from having psychic abilities. They forgot about cripples and autistic kids.
Yeah. But that's a threat to their beliefs, to their that if others have psychic abilities, then they can go to them and not to the church. So
Until recently, they
get
called
rid of
these
them.
people possessed by demons.
yeah.
Do you know it better? Like these
Yeah.
people, autistic kids or
Yeah.
people who have like some type of condition, they will call them they're possessed by demons.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And now we know they have these abilities.
Yeah. My sister has worked with autistic children for several years, many years. So I've heard quite a bit about what you're talking about. Well, can only confirm it really.
The other thing that is like I'm struggling to believe is that this narrative that the current history is very accurate because there are like living remains of that era still among us,
Yeah.
and it's accurate and everything. Like I'm not talking about like 200 years ago, I'm talking about 1900. There are a few people that are still alive.
Yes.
So, but there are things that doesn't match there are buildings in USA that doesn't match the date of build that they describe.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are like these buildings, like so many people on TikTok, on different social media, like talking about them. They go visit these buildings and like, film it and say like, do you believe this building can be built in 2 years with no power tool, no machinery, and with like these huge block of rocks
Yeah.
that comes from 150 miles away? Yeah, of course, they were trained back then, but does that fucking make sense to bring blocks of rock, heavy blocks of
Yeah.
rock, 2-3 tons, heavy rocks from 150 miles away? And even so, it's not going to fucking take 2 years to build if that's the way you transport
Sure.
the rocks there. It's going to take at least 10 years, like least amount of time that you can
Yeah.
build such a structure. And they just have it like, no, it's been between, some of it is between like 1897 to 1900, some of it's like 1901 to 1903, and it doesn't fucking make sense. But the narrative is that no, they've been built. And what is weird, like, why do they lie about it?
I was just going to get to that. What how does it benefit anyone to lie about age of a building? I'm not asking you to answer that, but I mean that's number one thing, and then number two is it would be interesting to go and research those buildings with architects, engineers that had the historical knowledge of building techniques. It would be really good to go and see some specific ones, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a professional anecdote on what is actually
Yeah. And,
what could be possibly like, they use and what technology or whatever.
and maybe carbon date things if it was appropriate,
Yeah,
and
that would
all-
be great too. I mean, imagine if they could like predict the date of like a structure or building out of the rock that they used to build it.
Yes.
I think that would solve so many mysteries.
Yeah. I'm not an expert on carbon dating, but I think you need some sort of organic material.
Yeah, that's why I said, like,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
carbon is like, you need
Yeah.
carbon, like natural
Yep.
material.
But often they can find that, it seems. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that just gives
Yeah.
more power to the fact that
Yes.
probably the current history of us living is not accurate. Like maybe
Yeah.
there was this great reset that they talk about. Maybe there was this mass destruction that they remove like a part of history that they didn't like, and they didn't want to, they want to claim that they built it, or
Okay. Yeah.
they are responsible for it. They take the credit and
Yeah.
like get rid of some stuff along the way, some technology that will give freedom to people. Because you've heard about like it's Gen X, Gen Z,
Yes.
Gen Y,
Yeah.
all millennials. The first one is the Great Generation, which is coincidentally is from 1900 to 1920.
Okay.
They call those people the Great Generation.
That's my parents were born then, 1917. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And your generation is Gen X
yeah,
or boomers,
baby boomers.
baby
yeah.
boomers. And my generation is millennials, Gen Y. And then generation after me called Gen Z for some reason, the last Gen Z. And the new generation, they call them Generation Alpha.
Okay. Can it be because they're the first of the 21st century, maybe?
Yeah, but what about the people before 21st century? They didn't call
us.
them anything?
We're the 20th century babies, dude. Yeah. You mean the 19th century?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the before that.
Okay. Yeah, maybe they
It feels like they started from there to like establish
Yeah.
things, and like they got rid of all the like whatever happened before that
Okay.
as much as they could. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
then of course the narrative that comes from like ancient Greek or ancient Egyptian is like we don't even know what actually happened there, or what even from the text is like part of it is considered as a mythology, part of it considered as a accurate history. So that they didn't need to do much about,
Okay.
but they need to fucking do a lot about like, oh yeah, they discovered like a free source of energy. They discovered like airship and things that runs with clean source of energy. So how do we get rid of that? So we say like, this is the way to go.
Yes.
Coal, oil, this is the way to go.
Very good.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's good for business.
Yes.
It's really good for
Yeah,
business.
plenty of energy. Yes.
So much energy. So much profit. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm not saying like that happened, but I'm just saying like
Yeah.
it's a possibility.
Absolutely.
I don't have to go around live my life like being paranoid about like, oh, what now? No, but I am just having that in mind. I question things that I'm hearing,
Yes.
and I want to like, yeah, okay, how's that benefit me? How's that? Oh yeah, tariffs. So who pays the tariffs? The consumer, the person that wants to import whatever material or product needs to pay the tariffs.
That's right.
All right. So how's that benefit our economy? How's that benefit me? Because it raised the prices that we buy shit here in
Yes.
this country. They don't pay it.
Oh,
Either we have to buy it locally, which is like already have the highest price, or we need to buy it from other countries, and we want to raise prices on that. And then you realize, no, that person that decides, that person, that really lovely person that decide to put those tariffs on neighboring countries, he's not dumb. He's not stupid. He knows how tariffs work, how tariffs work, how is it going to affect the stock market. Knows like it's going to shut down the stock market, it's going to fucking crash. He knows it very well. Nobody knows better than him. And nobody knows better than him how it's going to fuck the stock market. But he did it. And like private shareholders, by private shareholders, I'm not talking about multi-billionaires. I'm talking about people like, make some money and buy some like a stock share in some companies or whatever. They're gonna panic when this like hit the low. They're gonna panic and they're gonna sell. And who's gonna buy those shares?
I don't know.
The billionaires, the fucking corporations. These people that, it's like,
I see.
they know what's gonna happen after. It's like, oh, now it's hit the lowest, buy all of it. Whoever wants to sell, buy it right away, and they're gonna own it. And one day, how long after he set the tariffs, he said like, oh, we put the 1 month pause on it now.
Yes.
So the prices went up again, same as before. And in this between, those corporations, those billionaires, like bought shitload of shares, and they want to fucking own everything. These are fucking like we're being played like a fucking instrument.
I wouldn't be surprised, dude.
So, but the narrative is like, oh, Trump is just stupid. He doesn't know how the tariffs work and this and that. It's like, oh, really? Really? That's the best explanation that you come up with.
He doesn't know. It works for the rich people, you mean? But
it's all by design. And that's what I mean. Like when you hear it, because I was just like, I was just thinking about how is it going to help? Why is he so like determined to do it? Like, I understand if we, like, let's say within a year, the economy will boom because of it. But the most expert economists will say, we don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. You know what I mean? The outcome of it is like, we don't know. So why was he so determined to do that? And like almost started like a economical war with Canada, Mexico, China. It's an act of war. Now this thing that I just explained makes sense to me. It's like, yeah, that's why. And honestly, that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Maybe in the near future, if you have something in mind that might help, write it in the comment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really want to know.
I unfortunately believe you, Arnie. That sounds like a very likely scenario, and I'm very sad to hear about it.
Yeah, it's just what I'm saying is that these are the things that comes to mind. Like, what is going on with all that? And we live in do we live in a Truman Show? Like shit, like it's like designed for us to be confused and like just live our life. And from time to time, like you see something like you're like, huh? And then you're like, look, and then you question everything. It's like, oh, there's this white car passing by every day at 7:15. Then you realize, no, it feels like a playroom or controlled. So yeah, that was everything that I had in mind.
Oh man,
good to ventilate with you.
Yes, thank you. I don't want to believe what you say, but it makes sense, and it kind of goes like, oh shit, yeah, why didn't we see that with the tariffs? Yeah.
I think it's verifiable what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how to have access to that information to see who bought the shares
No, of course not.
who
Yeah.
sell it. I mean, yeah, you can have access to it. I don't know how. You can see
Yeah.
the reports of the stock market, I guess, somewhere. Like who sold the shares that they have, who bought them, and then I think it's so obvious things like with the modern technology that we have, you can easily figure out, but nobody put that effort,
Yeah.
or most of people don't put that effort to figure it out, and they're like, what am I gonna do about it? How is that gonna affect me? I was like, I heard something that it touches my bones. It was like, we don't want to fix the problems. Most of people don't want to fix the problem. They just want to get enough money and be rich enough
Oh yeah.
for the problem to doesn't
Yes.
affect them.
Yes.
And that's where we went wrong.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like if you were if there is a problem, it's like, well, fucking, how can we solve it? Instead of
course, yeah.
how can we make enough money so this problem doesn't affect us?
Yeah.
Then most of people will live in a utopian life. But as it is right now, we're just selfish.
Yeah, I think so. Well, small-minded.
Yeah.
Same thing, maybe.
We're
Yeah.
divided,
Yes.
very divided.
Well, that's
Everyone for themselves. That's the thing. That's the model that we live in right now.
yeah, yeah. And that's what you just said is always my watchdog for good politics, good way of living. I've said this before many times, but if something divides us, run like hell. If it unites us, that's going to be the way for all. Hey, it's that simple. I mean, and these guys are master manipulators of confusion and division on all fronts, so,
I think people are waking up to the fact that none of these governments, none of these people on top have the best interest in the hearts. They don't. They just bullshitting and they give money to rich, and it's so obvious now that it's it's like a parody. It's laughable. What you hear.
Thank you. Yes.
Huh? Well, how can you say that with a straight face?
And closing the education system? Oh.
Yeah.
No, we don't even.
No, the government fraud and how do you say misuse of the money was that they give lunch to kids. That's where we were going
naughty
wrong.
things.
So now we're
Oi.
gonna stop that.
Oi.
But we're gonna
lunch.
give a tax cut to billionaires because they fucking need it.
Yeah.
Man, they need.
Yeah, they do.
They're in need and they need
Poor little
they need your
things.
money.
Yeah. Oh.
So, but what I'm trying to say, I see people like that. I hope that's my hope that having this type of discussion helps people to make their mind.
Thank you. I agree.
Yeah. My goal with this is to, first of all, get it out of me, because it feels like I'm going crazy. Get it out of me and see. If we change someone or we influence someone to think straight, because we're not thinking straight.
No.
With the shit that's happening around the world, and we let them do it. We let all these horrible things happening all around the globe. It's at some point we should realize we have the power.
Well, that's what's missing.
If some
right
shit
now,
happens
isn't
in
it?
Gaza that fucks people up, if you don't say anything about that, it means you're open to that shit happening to
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
And it's going to. There's a famous saying about it that I cannot recall right now. But what I'm saying is that I think people are waking up. People are demanding facts, truths, or alternative narrative about things, because it doesn't fucking make sense. The shit that we are hearing as acceptable from many, it doesn't fucking make sense.
No.
If it was making sense, why would you no, I have a decent life. things going all right. We're in peace. We're not in war with any country. There is no war going on in the world. We have enough to eat. Everybody has enough to eat. They have shelter over their head. They have all the human rights happening for them. So why would I doubt the shit that comes out of this fucking orange red monkey? But when it's not like that, when you have when you're behind to pay your bills or shit like that, and you hear like, oh no, tariffs will help you. And then you're like, I want to buy fucking egg. It's like 3 times the price that I was paying for it. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? So what I hope us to achieve is that we open up discussion and we help people to think straight, to question bullshit, to like be able to recognize bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Good. That's really what my point at the beginning. You know, that we just have to have this skill now. It's not an optional extra. You know, and my way of doing that, as you well know, still is trusting feelings, intuition about things. I don't say I'm 100% right, but right most of the time. You know, if it doesn't really sit right, it probably isn't right, you know, in some aspect. But that's something most of us have to really train, including me. I'm still not brilliant at it, but I know it works. You know. So
I just hope this resonates with people. And
me too.
Yeah, I want to be able to have those discussions. Like I have people in mind to invite, to interview.
Yes.
And you will help us if you like, comment, share, subscribe. So we bring those people here and we interview and we give you a good insight of what is happening in the world. Thank you. And
thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm done with everything that I said. Do you have anything to add?
No, it's really good.
Yeah.
My wish is the same as you, that our followers can really learn to find some basis of trust for what is true, both within us and outside of us. Thank you, Monsieur.
Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Yes, very much. Thank you.